Hello, today I'm going to be talking about what life is like after a porn addiction. Now, I want to bring this up because I had a couple of messages this week. One was from someone who isn't in the Beyond Compulsion Academy right now, and he just messaged to say, like, his life feels pretty shit right now, and he feels like that's actually a junky thought that keeps coming up from the addicted part of the mind. So it's kind of like a rationalization, like, my life's rubbish right now anyway, so what's the point kind of thinking, you know? And I get that because in the past, I definitely had times where my life would lack any meaning or purpose. I'd feel very isolated and disconnected from people. Living in a little studio flat, not that many mates around in the past, and I didn't really know what I was doing with my life. This is like maybe 3, 4, perhaps 5 years ago. All I knew, I guess, is I wanted to help people stop watching porn, and that's actually been true for a while now, since 2020. So I knew that was my goal. So in a way, I still had the same goal that I have now. The difference is I was in an addiction, and when I was in an addiction, I feel like everything's in grayscale. Like, everything is just a bit bleak. Like, it's just a bit more grey and like in a lower brightness. It's just a bit grey, and the mind's foggy, and it's hard to even think clearly. Like, it's hard to even identify problems correctly and understand what's going on in the mind, because for a start, you don't even know who's doing the thinking in the mind. Like, this is something that I've got really good at over the last 2 years, is understanding what part of my mind is doing the talking. And there's different parts in the mind. Not many people are going to talk about this, but I truly believe there's like an addicted part of the mind. People might say, it's more like the kind of primitive part of the mind, right? Okay, maybe. Well, look, there's the addicted part of the mind, the rational part of the mind, you've got like the child self, and it's like navigating the relationship between these parts and understanding who's doing the thinking, who's doing the talking. That's kind of a skill which you can develop over time, and you can get really good at that. But when you're in the addiction, it's like you don't even know when the addicted part of the mind is doing the thinking, like doing the talking. And the addicted part of the mind is going to say whatever it wants to try and get you to engage in the compulsive behaviour. So it's going to say some pretty horrible shit. It's going to say, your life is pointless. Like, you're worthless, man. Like, how have you not overcome your porn addiction? Like, what's wrong with you? Like, you're going to be stuck in this for the rest of your life. I have heard these thoughts from clients, like, numerous times. Like, most people, I would probably say, have had those thoughts at some point. You might be thinking, what's wrong with me? I'm so different to everyone else. You're not. You're just not. Like, and you may have some unique, great things about you, sure. Like, I'm sure we all do. But my experience working with porn addiction recovery is so interesting. So we've worked with quite a lot of guys now, and I hear the same sort of thoughts from pretty much everyone. And they're the same thoughts that I used to have when I was in the porn addiction. And so you kind of just see, like, holy shit, like, for all those years that honestly, like, wasn't anything wrong with me. I was just in an addiction, and I was thinking in these certain ways because a part of my mind had a particular intention. It wanted me to engage in this compulsive behaviour. And back then, I didn't know what to do with that desire. So inevitably, I ended up relapsing. So when we come back to this question, my life's so shit. Should I just carry on sort of watching porn? Like, why does it even matter? What I want to get across is when you're in the porn addiction, it can at times, not always, but it can at times be hard to even imagine what life could be like on the other side. Now, look, you're not going to get to a certain amount of days or some bullshit like that, and suddenly there's like rainbows, and you're shooting like lava out of your hands, and you're flying around, and you got some invisible cape on. Like, there's no superpowers here. Overcoming a porn addiction isn't about a quick, sudden, enlightening transformation where everything just transforms at like the click of a fingers. It's not like that. But what you do have instead is a lot more self-trust, a lot more self-respect. You feel a bit more content. You can enjoy doing like hard things a bit more, like going to the gym or tidying up your flat. You can enjoy sitting down and doing work and just cracking on really with your life. You can enjoy social situations without thinking like, shit, can this person tell that I've just relapsed? Because you're no longer relapsing. You can live with integrity, and it's just like so much better. But the way in which it's better is more about what's going on in your own mind rather than your circumstances. Because if you put me in a situation now where, let's say you put me in a prison, like genuinely an actual prison, yeah, it'd be a bit shit, sure. I'm very passionate right now about helping get the Beyond Compulsion method to more people. But like, I honestly think my mind right now, this is actually going to sound wild, and I've only just thought of this, but I personally believe you could put me in a prison right now, a physical prison, and I would feel better in that prison now than I did when in the addiction, but living my life as a free man. Because in the addiction, I was not mentally free. And that's the difference. Now, mentally, I'm free. And so you can put me in any circumstance and I'm still going to be able to live in alignment with my own personal values. I'll still be able to make choices I'm proud of. And here's the thing, is that for me is what freedom and living a good life is all about. It's just about making choices that align with your own values and acting in the way you want to act. And so, you know, yeah, handcuff me, all right? No, I'm only joking. But yeah, it just is a lot better on this side of things. And so if you're worrying like, oh, like, what's the point of even like stopping this porn addiction? I just want to get across to you that you're doing it for your own mindset, not some external circumstances like, I don't know, getting into a relationship or, you know, making a load of money or whatever, right? That should not be the goal here. And I think a lot of the no-fap stuff is so focused on like sex and attracting women. You got the whole semen retention stuff. And I think all of that is just a load of bullshit. And it just really holds people back from seeing that the real benefits are from the peace of mind of being in control of yourself and making good, rational choices. There's not much more to life than that, in my opinion. Well, there is, but I just mean like, that's the thing we can actually control. And so focus on what we can control, not what we can't control. Cheers for listening. Hopefully this provides a bit of a different perspective to someone and also inspires someone to be a bit more excited about actually overcoming their porn addiction, even if their life circumstances right now are not particularly great. Final thing as well, my life circumstances, like in terms of relationships, friendships, you know, just like generally way more sociable. Things like, yeah, even business, I guess. Tidying up my flat, like having a good clean space to live in, cooking, gym, like basically all the areas of my life that for years I wanted to work on when I was in the porn addiction, like every area is significantly better and easier now as well. So it will also just like make your life better because everything becomes a lot easier when your brain's not fried from watching porn. Cheers for listening. Thank you. See you later. Bye.